Hey guys, this is Tech Pro here. Today I have with me the iPhone XS Max. It's quite a mouthful, but you need to learn to say XS, not XS. So this is the box of the phone. It's a 256 GB version in gold. It's 1,25,000 in India. Over here it says Apple inclusive, 1 Apple Parkway, Cupertino. So the way you open this is you just pull this tab over here like this. It feels very clean and easy. So simple. And this is the box itself. It's a very high quality box. The gold around the edges of the phone, they really shine in the light. And there's also gold on the iPhone logo and the Apple logos over here. So let's go ahead and open this box. It's of very high quality. These boxes only go for a lot of money after some years, so you should probably save them. So you have the quick guide over here. It's almost the same as the iPhone X, except the new graphics. And then you have the SIM ejector tool. This phone has a physical SIM and an eSIM. And in some markets such as China, 2 dual SIMs. So this is the phone itself. But before we get to that, let's talk about how Apple makes money. 1. The charger. They only give you a 5-watt charger. That charges very slow, so you need to buy the USB-C charger for fast charging. And then let's talk about the headphones. So these earpods are lightning earpods, and there's no headphone jack dongle. And then you have a USB-A connector. So you can't connect this to your new latest MacBook Pro. So this is the phone itself. The screen is huge. It's like massive, and the gold color, it's just pure luxury. So I'll just open this. It just shines and shimmers in the light. It's of very high quality. The metal stainless steel edges feel cold to touch. It feels well built. And the gold is quite dark and sleek. So I'll go ahead and turn this on. While it turns on, let's look at the buttons. This is the Siri and sleep wake button over here, and then the mute switch and the volume buttons. So I'll just set this up real fast. Okay, now let's swipe up to get started. So this display is just massive. It's 6.5 inches and the colors really pop. So let's take a look at the Stocks app. And using such an app, you can just see how the notch is being made small by the big display. Unfortunately, there's no landscape mode for the Stocks app, so let's go to Safari and let's see how web browsing feels like on the XS Max. So it comes up right to the edges and you get a whole lot more real estate than the iPhone X, which had cropped corners. So let's go to YouTube and search for Tech Pro, my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. So I'll just open a video and then let's see how it feels like. So on the sidebar you get all the videos, so you can just scroll down and see which one you want to watch next. That's good. Now let's go to the App Store and look for some games such as Asphalt 9. So let's just watch this video with the speakers at full volume. Whoa, these speakers are loud, and there's a reason for that. They're much louder than the ones on the iPhone 10, and they have stereo sound. And there's a clear balance between the left and right channels. And the 6.5-inch OLED display is just phenomenal. It's amazing. The game is truly immersive if you play it on this screen. So now let's take a look at the camera. The dual cameras to be precise. Both of them, the telephoto and the wide angle, are 12 megapixel like last year's iPhone 10, but the image sensor is way larger, so the pixel density is way higher. So let's take a look at how this looks. So these are some of the photos that I've taken. This one is of my camera, and these are some of the portrait pictures that I've taken. It's done a decent job. It hasn't done too many errors, except around the edges. Like of this plant over here, it couldn't catch the edges of the grass properly, so it's a bit blurred out over there. And then the dog over here around the ears, it's basically the edges that matter. It's not as good as a DSLR camera. Of course, you can use a bokeh mode effect to adjust the depth of the portrait mode photo, like so. You can do this even after you've taken the photo. So let's see how contour light looks like in stage light. For this, it's a hit and miss. It doesn't work all the time. So this is not that great. So I'll just discard the changes. And then let's look at the plant picture. So this, it's done a pretty good job over here. But then some blades of grass are still blurred out. So I'll just adjust that. But the whole point of portrait mode goes out if you do that. So let's look at the stage light in this. It's not too good. So I'll just discard the changes. Then let's look at this one. I'll change the depth. Now the ears are all blurred out, so I'll just keep it as it is. And then I'll change the lighting. Oh, the stage lighting is pretty okay on this one. It captured the edges of the head very well. And the stage light mono one, it looks even better. These are some low light pictures I took after sunset. The new image sensor is very good. It made the photos look like they were taken during the evening, but the reality is there's absolutely almost no light. You cannot see as well as this with your own eyes. iPhone XS Max certainly looks like a great phone. Stay tuned in for more updates later. Now let's look at the technical specifications of the iPhone XS Max. They are IP68 water resistance, which means they can stay underwater for 2 meters for 30 seconds. They also wine, beer and tea resistant. Apple should not promote drinking, but with 60% greater dynamic range, and supports HDR movies. The iPhone XS also now has Dolby Vision with HDR10. It has a 6.5-inch screen with the same size as the iPhone 8 Plus. It has a 6.5-inch Super Retina OLED display with 458 ppi. Max has better landscape capabilities, which allows you to do much more, such as on iMovie and gaming. It has the same 458 ppi OLED display on both with 1:1 contrast ratio. It has 120 Hz touch sensing, 3D touch, tap to wake and a true tone display. It has wider stereo sound than before, and the Face ID is the same as last year's iPhone 10. except now it has faster algorithms and faster secure enclave. It's the most secure facial authentication ever in a smartphone, and the new A12 Bionic chip. It's the first 7nm chip, and it's the smartest and most powerful chip ever in a smartphone. It has an 8-core neural engine, 4-core GPU, 6-core CPU. It has 2 performance cores, and it's up to 15% faster and 40% lower power, and 4 efficiency cores, up to 50% lower power. And for the first time, there's a 512GB version of these iPhones. It has a 12-megapixel wide-angle camera, an RGB, IR, and dot projector on the front of the phone. It has an image signal processor and smart HDR, which basically takes a lot of photos with zero shutter lag, highlight detail, shadow detail by combining all these photos together. And these are examples of the portrait mode on the iPhone XS and XS Max. They talk a lot about skin tones and the hair of the horse, I don't know why. And the most important thing about the camera is the bokeh mode. For the first time in an iPhone, you can adjust the aperture. You can adjust the blur effect even after you take the photo for the first time. It's a new era of photography. It has a 2 times fastest sensor, and for the first time on an iPhone, it records stereo sound. The battery life. XS Max, it's an hour and a half more than iPhone X. It has gigabit class LTE, and for the first time in an iPhone, it finally has dual SIM. But don't get too excited though. It has dual SIM, dual standby, with an eSIM. That means one is an eSIM and one is a nano SIM, and it's offered on Vodafone, Airtel, Jio, etc. So these iPhones have 12-megapixel dual rear camera with dual optical image stabilization, all new sensor portrait mode with depth control, advanced bokeh through the camera on the front, new gold finish, surgical grade stainless steel, IP68 water resistance, and most durable glass ever, and gigabit class LTE and wider stereo sound. It's available in gold, space gray, and silver colors, and 64, 256, and 512GB memory sizes. So, if you found this video to be helpful and interesting, please subscribe to Law Tech Pro.